Hello out there in Northwest Arkansas, and welcome to Village Highlights. We're coming to you from beautiful Bella Vista. I'm Ginger Hamilton, and along with my husband,
I'm Richard Beck.
We're going to bring you some exciting highlights from around this area. We have several highlighters today, as a matter of fact. We have Dee Dee Matney, the Executive Director of our Bella Vista Animal Shelter, and big friend today. She usually brings a small friend. We have Diane Hine, the editor from the library. We have Carol Harder, the president of the Historical Society here. And we have two people from our school system. We have Michael Poore, the superintendent of the Bentonville School System, and we have Matt Young from Cooper Elementary. So you have quite a bit of excitement in store today. And let's start off with our animal person over here. Dee Dee, tell us what you have today.
Well, good morning, Ginger. I have brought a beautiful friend with me. She is a Great Pyrenees. She's a 4 to 5 year old Great Pyrenees. She is a spayed female, and she does have an injury on her right now. She came into us out of the Gravette area, where sadly she was slated for euthanasia. However, we took her in, and she has received medical care for a wound that she received by an animal bite. She also was so completely matted that she had barbed wire cut in her hair. It was caught in her hair, rather, and she tried to tear it out with her mouth and ended up injuring her gums and her mouth.
You want to move around a little bit so that everybody can get a good view of this dog?
Come
what
on,
a
Joan.
beautiful animal.
Oh, there
This is
you go.
Joan. Joan
Yes.
of Arc. Look at the camera, baby. See, isn't she gorgeous? She's just a beautiful dog. She's very sweet. She's 3 to 4 years old, very good with other animals. She rode beautifully in the car, and she walks great on leash as well. She would make a wonderful, wonderful addition to someone's home. Yes, she is a large girl, but I have big dogs at home, and I honestly don't feel they take up that much space.
They try to take up as little space as possible on your lap.
Yes, they do. So if anyone is interested, of course, we would require an adoption application. Right now our website is down because, excitingly enough, we're having a brand new website designed, and that should be up momentarily. So you won't be able to access the adoption application online for another week or so, but you can always call the shelter or come down and see us. We're located at the Arkansas-Missouri state line on Highway 71 North, and at the Bear Hollow Road stoplight, you make a left turn, head west, and come past Allied Waste Disposal, and you'll find the shelter.
What's the telephone number?
Our number is 479-855-6020. And we are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and we are closed on Sunday.
If someone decided they really like this dog, what do they expect about the wound at this point?
It is just in the healing process. She's still on antibiotics. She does have a tube inserted just to keep it draining, but she expects a full recovery. There should be no serious side effects whatsoever.
That's wonderful, because she was wonderful coming into our studio today. No exuberance.
No, she's
very well behaved.
Very, very calm dog. And it's through our MOCA Magical Medical Fund, as we call it, which is a mouthful to say. But people donate to us specifically to that fund for high-dollar surgeries, for extreme medical care, so that we can afford to give the animals what they need.
Oh, that's wonderful. Just remember that out there. Give us some money for that fund, because it's going to become necessary, unfortunately, as we find animals in this kind of condition.
Yes.
This happens to be summer.
Yes.
Do you have anything you'd like to say about summer with animals?
Well, summertime, absolutely. People need to really be careful when they take their animals with them in the car. The heat in the car can build up to extreme temperatures, and even just having a cracked window when the temperatures are high is not enough. You need to make plans to take a spare set of keys with you. That's what I do, and that way I can keep the car running, the air conditioning on. If I have an animal in the car with me, I can still lock my vehicle, but I know for sure then that the animal is staying cool. It's something that can be extremely dangerous, not just to pets, but to children as well.
Make sure you have that extra set of keys, because the last thing you want to do is lock your animal in the car, even if it's running, because gasoline will run out.
Well, yes, of course. You want to make sure you always have a full tank. And of course, make your trips where you're not planning to be gone for hours at a time with your pet in the car, where you can't be present.
Is there anything more that people might expect from a large animal like this versus getting a very small animal? Say they'd had Chihuahuas before.
Well, obviously size is the difference. She's going to take up a little more space than your Chihuahua is. However, I can tell you just by being with her today, she is so calm, she is just so relaxed. She's very easy to handle. Matter of fact, I was going to bring a smaller dog originally, and that dog is very exuberant, high energy, bounces all over the place. So Laurie and I, who is one of our staff members, talked about it, and we decided Joan would be the perfect choice today.
How did she get her name?
Laurie May names most of our animals. All of the staff partakes in naming the animals. They have some real fun with it. We have 2 new pit bulls in recently, and their names are Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Brad, wonder where that came from.
Right, so they have a good time with it.
I think that's an interesting thing that you bring out a pit bull, because people have ideas about pit bulls, and I think you need to explain that that's not always true.
No, unfortunately, pit bulls get a bad reputation. It's not always one that they've earned. They're not born mean, they're made mean.
That's right.
That can be true of any, really any dog. And typically what we find is you're more likely to be bit by one of our Chihuahuas than you are to be bit by one of our pit bulls.
You know why that is?
They have little dog syndrome.
Well, it's the fact, a lot of it comes from the fact that people have small dogs and don't discipline them as they would a large dog. They would never tolerate that behavior in a large dog, but in a small dog, they let things go that they should not let go. Well, Dee Dee, this has been very, very interesting, and I hope somebody comes and takes this dog. She's just a wonderful, how old is she?
She's 3 to 4 years old, spayed
Good age.
female.
Good age.
And the adoption fee on dogs is $55. That covers their spay neuter. She's had her rabies shot, her bordetella. She's had her distemper, parvo vaccinations. She's been wormed. You'll get a free vet check and also a microchip.
Well, you certainly couldn't ask for anything better than that. So, Dee Dee, thank you so much for coming. I didn't miss your name this time.
Nope, you didn't.
I'm glad I didn't do that. It's so great to have you, and you bring some wonderful animals for us to find out about.
Well, thank you, and I would tell everyone that we do have many kittens coming in right now. It is kitten season. So please, please come and visit the shelter if you're in need of a pet for your household.
Even if you're not in need, you'd be surprised how you become in need when you get there. Thank you very much, Dee Dee.
Thank you.
Appreciate your coming. All right, let's get back. I have to move over so I can get in here because I had to move over to the animal. So who do we have next, Richard?
We have 2 guests, and this is not a repeat of the August 28th production, but we have 2 gentlemen here today. Superintendent Poore, Bentonville Schools, and our own Bella Vista principal, Matt Young, who is a regular on the program. He works very cheaply for us, and that's why we like to have him with us. But about August 28th, you came up on the program. We wanted to understand about the coming up to the new high school, finances, and so forth. We're glad you're back today. We really are.
Well,
tell us about the new school, if you would, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here, and you think in August, we were trying to sell everyone on the concept, and we're very grateful to the community for their support. Through the election process, we were able to get to a situation where 70% of this community, the Bentonville school community, voted in favor of this. Every single precinct, which there's not very many places anywhere, let alone right here in Northwest Arkansas, that can say that they had every single precinct end up approving this measure and moving forward. So now, where we're at is we've been planning and working to try to create what the building will look like. And we are in a kind of at a stage now where we're really trying to refine our prices and some of the materials we're going to use. We go to the board in the June 16th board meeting for a site guaranteed maximum price, if we establish that, that allows us then to go dig dirt, which is exciting. If we get to dig dirt, we would like to do a groundbreaking ceremony on June 23rd. And so that's right around the corner. And then, we open up for kids in August of 2016, which is awfully exciting.
That is. Been a lot of discussion on where it was going to be placed and so forth. Community got involved, and the superintendent, you field the questions. You're the man in charge of that, and you have your board members out there. A lot of things happen in the school district. Very positive, though. I want to shift to just for a minute. You always have some thanks to give to people, and we always get that in first. I think that's important. People do services for your school or your students, and you always have a list. Don't want to decide. We're going to get back to superintendent in just a minute, though. Matt?
Yes, we definitely want to thank our Bella Vista community. We're kind of at the end of our school year now, and what a blessing our community is to us. I think all of us that live here recognize that on a daily basis, just from the smiles and hugs you get at church to going to the grocery store to going to the library. We truly live in a special place, and that specialness comes into our school on a daily basis. There's not a day go by that a community member does not come in and volunteer. We have over 200 volunteers that are community members that are not parents. And that's a remarkable number when you think about that. 200 people that are not directly associated with the child that are coming in to do something with our kids sometime during the school year. So that is quite a blessing. The other group that's been such a blessing to us has been the city of Bella Vista, as far as providing, with police support, with fire support. We have our Fun and Field Day coming up the next 2 days. And what's amazing is our Bella Vista Fire Department comes out for that and volunteers. I mean, you talk about a community feel. When you see the firemen participating with the kids, that's amazing. And then our Property Owners Association has done a wonderful job involving us in what they do. And now for our 3rd year in a row, we're going to celebrate our 4th graders with a POA Day, which is where our 4th graders get to experience the wonderful amenities of Bella Vista. They get to go play tennis, they get to golf, they get to swim, they get to do all those things there at Kingsland. And that wouldn't be possible without our great community we live in. So thank you for letting me thank them.
Yeah, I'd like to tag along on that, and we'll get back again. Golf, teaching students how to play golf. Major thing. You have a garden across the street now. Wow. What else could you ask for there?
Well, when we think about our community of Bella Vista, one of the things we always talk about is the golf. And, we realized our kids aren't golfing. So working with the POA, working with the First Tee Association, working with some of the local organizations, we were able to teach all of our kids about golf this year, kindergarten through 4th grade. And then we were also able to take them, our older kids, out to the driving range, out to Tanier Creek, and then they actually got to play 4 to 5 holes on Brittany with some of the local pros. And what was amazing is when those kids came back, what they wanted to do. They wanted to come back and they said, I want my dad to take me golfing. I want my mom to take me golfing. So when we think about our community growing in the future of our community, we need our young people to be golfing. We need our young people to do those things. The other group, and I know you're going to talk to Carol later, is the Bella Vista Museum. We have started a program now with them where our kids are learning about Bella Vista history. And if you haven't got to go to the museum, you must go. It is amazing. When I took my own family down there, I was surprised at the things this community has done and the amazing history we have here. And all of our 4th graders got to go to the museum, take a tour, and now they're in an essay contest to see, about their favorite place in history. And to see them embrace that is just amazing to me.
Well, there went 3 minutes of my presentation. Matt did a good job, and we appreciate that. Superintendent, charter schools, it's in the newspaper, and some people may not be familiar. Could you briefly talk about that, or what is R.E. Baker?
R.E. Baker is the site that we're considering to place a charter school. And most of the public probably understands that charter schools are really a national trend. It really is relatively new to Arkansas, but in other parts of the nation, this is really a delivery that's pretty popular. For us, we're looking at a charter school in the sense that we think that we can do a better job of preparing kids for science, technology, math, engineering, but also the arts. And that we'd like to create a collaborative environment for teachers first, that they can plan and prepare to really have project-based learning for children, very engaged learners, and then spread that out to the children. We know that some kids, they learn by doing. That's their primary means to really do well. And so if we can pull this off, there's all sorts of positives in terms of what its delivery is to kids. A second thing is that there are going to be other charter schools that are going to come into this region, and we've got to compete with that. And the final thing is that there are resources that are available for our district that we can access grant money that's pretty substantial dollars that we can access to help defray cost of implementing such a program.
Major undertaking. Some parents say, well, what's going to happen to my child? What are the boundary lines? And as superintendent, you get to deal with that along with your staff. We appreciate what you're doing here on that.
Thank
but
you.
it is a major thing. Anything else you'd like to talk about? We could talk, athletics, buildings or personnel, anything.
Well, this time of year is a celebration, in our school district. And one of the things that I would like to share with the community out there is that this really is an opportunity for us to look at what our K-12 system has produced. First off, if you look at our senior class, almost $740 million excuse me, I'm saying that wrong. Whew, I gave too much money for our kids. I was elevating them out, but the amount, $7.4 million that was raised in terms of scholarships for our students, that's substantial. We ended up with academic honors left and right. Our top valedictorian, who started her schooling at Thomas Jefferson as an immigrant from Sri Lanka, who came in and was in a one-room apartment housing, is graduating this year, has leveraged her education to have 2 degrees from INWAC, graduating as our valedictorian, and is now headed to Harvard. This athletic group of kids as well has done well. 12 state championships, which sets a record for Bentonville. And then finally our performing arts, off the chart in terms of performances throughout the year. So we feel good about that because it's Matt's school at the elementary level. It's our entire K-12 system that are producing these type of children. But then it also goes back into the community. The support that we have from this community, whether it's in volunteer hours that Matt just described, it happens at Cooper, it happens at all of our schools, or it's about businesses that are helping us and supporting us in really substantial ways, to fantastic parents. It's lending itself then to an end product as we go shoot these kids out into the real world and they go into post-secondary options, that they're really prepared, I think, for things that, whether that's in college or in the workforce.
If we could take you two and all of Benton County and place it, all the same things all over the United States, we might get our country back. I'm really impressed with what I hear.
Well, I think we both feel blessed to be a part of this school system. But we I think, are honored by the fact that you included us in a program like this where we get to kind of share our story. I know that, for people that watch this program, they want to see value. If you talk about a new building, they don't want to see a Taj Mahal, but they do want to have something that they can be proud of and that they know that's going to sustain itself. I think that your public will be grateful to know that the millage that was previously passed in 2010, it has paid dividends well beyond anything that anybody could have imagined. It built not only a new elementary school, a new middle school, a new junior high, remodeled all of our existing buildings. It added on classrooms to Cooper. It added on classrooms to Willowbrook, Central Park, and also Centerton Gamble. It's allowed us to build a new technology center. And a part of that was getting a little bit lucky on our bonds, but a part of it also was really good management, and we plan to do the same thing with the millage that you've all entrusted us now to go build this second high school, Bentonville West.
Appreciate it. Matt, we're not going to let you talk anymore today. All right, sir? We appreciate you coming over.
Thank you so much.
Having the superintendent with us.
Thank you
We're
so much.
glad you're here, sir.
Thank you.
Matt,
Good
take
job,
care.
Brett.
Have
Take
a
care.
good summer, both of you. I'll
very much
turn it back
appreciate
to
that.
Ginger now. She's running the show here.
Thank you very much. Well, to run the show, I'm now going to turn to Diane Hine, who represents our library, which is very close to my heart. I love our library. I'm amazed by it all the time. So, Diane, why don't you tell us what's going on now?
Well, thanks, Ginger, for asking me to inform your viewers about an exciting event taking place at the Bella Vista Library in June and July. This and more information can be found in the June newsletter, which will be available throughout the village during the month of June. The event is actually quite a few events. The 2014 Children's Summer Reading Program will begin Saturday, May 31st, when youngsters preschool through age 11 can register at the library. There are 2 parts to the summer reading program, and children can choose to participate in one or both parts. First up is registration. Children will receive a reader's log to record the books they read during the months of June and July. Now for preschoolers, or what we call lap readers, their parents can record the books being read to them. The second part of the summer reading program is open to all ages. Families are encouraged to attend the free events at the library. Now for a complete list of the upcoming programs I'll be talking about and more, you can check out the library's website at bvpl.org or the monthly newsletter, the Dickens Place Doings. The events coming up in June will kick off with wonderful. Every year she comes back with new critters. Lynn Scampato's bringing some of her critters from the Morning Star Rehab Center on Saturday, June 7th at 10:30. And everyone of all ages will enjoy it when Lynn brings these critters. It's just a fabulous program. Next up will be Saturday, June 14th at 10:30 in the morning, when we'll have Clem Morgan and his lifeguards who will teach water safety and pool etiquette at our Minnow Manners program. And this is wonderful. The parents always appreciate this because it's a wonderful way to remind kids that if you help out your parents when you're at the pool, they will bring you more often. So it's a wonderful thing, and of course Clem and his young lifeguards, they listen to them. They're more willing to believe what they say than if the parents say don't run or don't do this or that. So it's a wonderful program, Minnow Matters, and that'll be June 14th at the library. Then on Saturday, June 21st at 10:30 in the morning, Marty the Balloon Man will bring his balloon buddies to the library. And he is fun, and all of the kids will leave with their balloon pals, and it's just a hoot. So be sure to be there June 21st. And then we'll wind up with June's events with the didgeridoo. How do you pronounce that in Australia? Didgeridoo?
Yes.
Down under.
Didgeridoo?
We'll find out. A high energy Australian themed show, which will be in the library on Saturday, June 28th at 10:30 in the morning. So that should be a lot of fun, music, entertainment, and we'll learn how to pronounce the word.
That's a good idea, yes.
So remember that the public is invited to all of these free shows, so be sure to check out the complete summer schedule today on the website. At the library, we have printed sheets. Of course, it'll be in the newsletter, or you can call up anytime at the library.
You know, the more you spoke there about all of these programs that are going on, I'm thinking, yes, we must build this extension to that library. Because that's the kind of thing you would do in another room.
Yes.
So when somebody wants to sit down and read quietly, they can do that.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a very difficult thing to do.
The whole library will enjoy these programs, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful because there are the 2 parts to the summer reading program. Some youngsters who just may not want to read and record their books, that's one thing they can do or not do. But the programs that are every Saturday and plus some during the week, and this is just wonderful for everybody. And we'll have lots more coming up in July, so stay tuned for that. Also, I wanted to remind everybody, Ginger, on Saturday, May 31st at 1 o'clock, you're welcome to come to the library for a reception to meet our new director, who will be starting on Monday, June 2nd. Roxy Wright will be there, so we'd love to have everyone come to our informal reception and to greet Roxy, and that's on Saturday, May 31st from 1 to 3.
I haven't met her, but I understand that people that have say she's really an exuberant,
Oh,
dynamic person, so I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
Joni was, so I'm looking
Right.
forward to seeing the new one. That's good.
She's reminiscent of Joni.
Good.
She's a perky little gal, and I think she's going to be great for the library, and hopefully we'll keep up with a lot of the programs that are that we know our patrons love, and we'll probably have her own ideas too. And so we, the staff members, will be happy to, whatever she comes up with, we're going to go gung-ho with it, and so I think she's going to be really great. I had a brief meeting with her, and she just seems to be a really great gal.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting her, and I'll certainly be there
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the 31st.
Let
Definitely.
me tag on the meeting on Saturday, 1 to 3. I'd invite everyone to come out to meet her because I'm supposed to be there, but I need to bring 2 dozen cookies.
I was
I'm
going to
trying
say, light
convince
refreshments.
Light refreshments, so there will be refreshments there.
And it's Richard's Refreshments. All right. So thanks so much, Ginger, for letting me tell your viewers about a few of the upcoming events at the library in June. Remember, all programs are listed on the library's website, bvpl.org. They're in the weekly Vista every week and the monthly Dickens Place Doings. The newsletter will be out probably, maybe not Saturday, but should be for Monday for sure. So I'll see you at the library, Ginger, and thanks so much.
And I want to say congratulations. You have really come a long way since we started working together. She had a tendency to be rapid, let's say, in her speech. Now she's slowed down, she enunciates, and I'm a bugger on that one. So this is great. I very, very appreciate having you here, and you do a great job of telling people about our lovely library.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you next month.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, Richard,
Yes.
you have someone now that I think we should probably have had an entire program on since she's been here for so long. Let's see how much we can put in here.
Well, we've had a long conversation. We've met before. Everywhere we go in the community, whether it's a carnival, a church gathering, you always show up. This is Carol Harder. I'm going to say probably one of the original people in Bella Vista, and I'm going to give the people out here.
I'm the relic.
You're
If
the
you want to
relic.
say
I
that,
didn't want to
I'll
say it
accept that.
way, but just a couple things. You left sometime, you left about 1957, so you kind of grew up around here. And some information says C.A. Linebarger, two brothers that set up, and I've only been here, about 12 years myself now. Set up the Bella Vista Summer Resort. Is that down on the lake? Or?
That is. There was an establishment there before for 2 years. It didn't go. But the brothers were aware of it, and they came back after finishing a project in Tomball, Texas. And this was actually the older brothers, F.W. and C.C. Linebarger. And so they came to Northwest Arkansas. The lake had been dammed up. It's going to have its 100th birthday next year. And they recognized that this was a good opportunity for a summer residential space where people would have their own homes. They would spend the entire summer, and they would have to rely upon the automobile, which is what has made it a unique endeavor, because in 1917 the number of automobiles was pretty limited. But they had to raise the level of the lake 2 feet in order to get more electricity. Can you imagine making your own electricity? And then they also had to dam up the water in the spring, the big spring,
Okay,
and
now
run
I'm going to stop
pipes.
you because you and I are going to talk for 3 days, but let me put a couple. Then you left, you went to California for a number of years,
Right.
and then Hawaii for, out there
Yes,
sunbathing. But then around 1995 or 96, Carol
came
Harder
back.
Came back.
Yes,
to
I
Bella
did,
Vista.
very happily.
You're here now. You're president of the Bella Vista Historical Society. Your husband is a professor at the
University.
of Arkansas, and you're going to a meeting somewhere in about a week or so.
That's
so
right.
You're on a tough schedule. Let's get back to what would be the major things you'd like to talk about. You want to talk about the museum, the Historical Society? I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can tell.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll go. As everyone probably realizes, we've made a lot of changes recently. We've been very fortunate. We've had help from some women coming from the Quester International, which has 3 chapters here in the village. And Susan Porter, Babs Thomas, Zeta Lucas, Virginia Reynolds have also joined up with us and created a steering committee. Through that endeavor and their energy, we have gone on the roles for you said you liked enunciation, and I'm stumbling here. The work detail from the Sheriff's Department. They are the ones who have made a huge difference in our appearance. They've done everything from painting the inside and the outside, helping the carpeting people put down the new carpet, and moving in 7 phenomenal display cabinets that we were able to get for free when the Walton 5 and Dime actually closed out their original museum and revamped it. And when they did, they had these beautiful cabinets. And I started thinking about that one day. Wonder where those are, because I knew they hadn't used them again. So I called and they said, well, they're sitting in storage. If you want them, you can have them. And we are so fortunate to have these because they're phenomenal. They just really set the tone, because the original space that the museum had, which I have to congratulate everyone in the community that contributed to that, and to the energy of saying we need a museum. I mean, when you consider that everyone who was involved with the village was new. Not one of those people had been here from day one, okay? Bentonville's been there since 1836, and they still don't have a museum. And they're losing their history because the dynamic has changed so much and whatnot that there's hardly anybody who can tell them what's going on. Anyway, my hat's off to the people who created the museum in 1985.
If someone wanted to volunteer, do you take volunteers?
Of course, that's the only way we operate. We have no paid employees.
Like our television station, all volunteers, all
Yeah.
right.
No, it's wonderful. And volunteers are the best. You know, they only do something they want to do, which is really key. And so we have cheerful people. It's really, really nice. I'm not sure if we can keep them cheerful forever, because the amount of work that's coming our way is really kind of amazing. We do a lot of research now, and that's something we were not very well known for.
I didn't know that. I
Well,
really didn't.
we are the repository. In fact, I think something that just happened in the last 48 hours, practically, or the last 72 hours, the Schmeeding Center was starting to prepare to celebrate next year. They will have been in the village for 25 years. And they started looking at what they had to document those 25 years and realized they were really short on some information from the very, very beginning. So they called Zita Lucas, and she went down, started going through the newspapers, because we have all of the vistas from 1980. Wow. She started looking through in 1990, 91, 92, and she delivered a really nice report on Monday morning to the director there at the Schmeeding Center.
I know you've done, we still have a couple minutes, don't we?
Yes.
Yes, well, we could some
Yeah.
more time, I want to make sure. I know you do a lot of work with the Cooper Elementary School. and you have
Yes,
the
we're happy to
program.
have them, and they have an essay project now after their visit just
So
recently.
students are familiar, the fourth graders particularly, I know
Yes.
you've taken through over there. What about a person, say that I bring people in from out of town.
Good.
And, there's a couple things you want to show them. We want to show them the American Legion's Hall, we want to show them
Sure.
Cooper Chapel, museum. If I bring them over, do I need my credit card? or-
No, 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 we're
Okay.
free, totally free.
Because of me, or just everyone's
Well,
free?
that would be by itself perhaps a reason, but
okay.
the other reason is we are free. And we also are open on Wednesdays through Sunday from noon until 4 o'clock.
On Sundays even.
Yes, sir,
Well, that's good.
definitely. And, you know, we occasionally get a situation where someone says, my group would like to come, but we meet on Mondays. And so is there some way we could do that? And we say, yes, there is some way you can do that. In fact, you might want to go next door to the American Legion and have lunch,
That's
and then
true.
come on over later on, and we'll give you a little tour. So we'll open for anyone who shows great interest.
Well, how is it funded then?
It's funded entirely by donations.
so-
And I have to thank the city of Bentonville, how would I say
Bella
that?
Vista.
Let's do Bella Vista.
All right.
Yeah, Bentonville, they don't deserve the thanks, but Bella Vista certainly does. It has given us $10,000 this year. And we're getting ready to spend that very quickly. I just did the calculations on the cubic footage of the room that we need to replace our heating and cooling system for, and I think we're going to be able to do it just as soon as possible.
Wow.
And money like that is very difficult.
Ginger always has a question. Do you have a particular question? Ginger's been around 20 years, so 21 years.
I was just thinking, I one time did the hootenanny
Yes.
for the Historical Society, for the museum and the Historical Society. And it's really a great group of people. I'm so pleased
people
we have it.
perhaps don't realize all about that, but that hootenanny that was sponsored, I think maybe twice, perhaps three times, was this wonderful fundraising program, and the talent was all local, and everyone had a grand time with it. And apparently there are some videos of it, which we would like copies of for our archives and whatnot. We are so fortunate. We have a volunteer by the name of Jack Kellogg, and his wife Shirley, who has developed a new interest in a program called Photoshop. And so they're working in tandem. They're taking our photographs and videos and they are remastering them. We now have loops that are playing. Actually, Alan's has a short loop showing the old-time pictures of the Bella Vista Summer Resort. And we now have a loop of 3 different films that all started as a result of seeing on YouTube a film from Oklahoma Historical Society shot in 1929 when the Blackstock family came with 2 or 3 cars of family and touring around, and the Sunset Hotel was just opening up. In fact, the final roofing coat wasn't on. But they took movies of that, movies of coming out of Wonderland Cave. It was good. And so Jack has fixed that so that it's not jerky and it's not like, and put some other photographs in.
Okay.
They're
I
great.
just got the signal you and I could talk forever. Carol,
Well,
I
come
wanna
and
thank-
visit.
Well, I'll come and visit. I hope everyone else does. Send in donations. That'd be appreciated also.
They can become members, they'll get a newsletter.
Let's
and
get together
they'll-
again sometime, Carol.
As soon as
all
you
right?
like.
I think I also have a video of this hootenanny I directed.
I think you do
I
too,
think I
because
do.
we
I
discussed that.
Must get that
We'll
together.
get a copy of it made from
I
yours.
must
We
get
don't, it's not necessary to give us originals of anything. We will take copies very happily.
Yeah.
And that way you're able to keep your special things and we can utilize them for the benefit of the public and the education.
Thank you for
Thank you
being
very
our
much.
guest today,
Thank
Carol.
you.
We appreciate it. Ginger?
Well, that brings us to a close this 4th week of May in 2014. Anybody who missed it, or if you would like to tell your friends to see this, we can be viewed on Wednesdays at 4 and 6 p.m. and on Thursdays at 7 p.m. and Fridays at 9 a.m. and Saturdays at 11 a.m. So you have plenty of time to see us. We always need volunteers, obviously, and we certainly would like some camera people. We'll talk about that more the next time, perhaps. but
We have some excellent camera people out there now.
Well, I'm thinking about people in the community.
Oh, okay.
Being like a roving reporter. We could use a roving reporter very well, either with a camcorder or a camera. So I must end with some wit and wisdom, though.
Yes.
This is from actress Audrey Hepburn. Success is like reaching an important birthday and finding you're exactly the same. You may view this program on Channel 99, UVerse, AT&T UVerse, or on Cox Channel 222 for you. Goodbye.
Bye now.